Hello, thanks.
Thanks for coming over to give me some tips on my house.
Sure, thanks for being part of this video.
Oh, great. So the main question I have, I've gone ahead and replaced my windows. I wasn't sure if that was a good use of my money, but it's definitely beautiful, and yeah, I'm still wondering about that, if that was a good choice. And now I'm thinking of replacing my door because I noticed there are single pane windows in there, and yeah, I'm just wondering what you think about windows as far as efficiency.
Well, it's great you did your windows. I bet you find the house is a lot quieter now.
It is, yeah.
In terms of efficiency, they might never pay for themselves. It really depends on what windows you had before and how leaky they were. But just in terms of like the thermal resistance of those windows, it's not that much better than the old windows that you'll pay for it in energy savings. Most people think windows and doors are quite important to the energy efficiency of your home, but they're really not, and let me tell you why. First, let's look at your doors. Now, this I can tell it's a solid wood door. That's great. Those are often the nicest looking doors. The other kinds you might find are hollow core or insulated steel or even a sliding glass door. Now, essentially, the R value is going to be all the same on all of them. Not exactly, but close enough. Now, R value means the resistance of the door to the movement of heat through it. The higher the number, the more resistant it is, and that's better. But solid core door is probably your best R value, maybe an insulated steel, but they're so close to the same thing, it doesn't matter. If you had a hollow core door, I would not say to replace it. So if you had a solid core door, the R value is probably about an R2, something like that. All the different door types are about the same R value. Compared to a wall, if it's insulated, is an R13, R14, something like that. So you see, it's a very big difference. So even if this was an R2 compared to an R2.5, not a big deal. The most important thing about doors is air sealing. If your door can be air sealed, I would keep it. Sometimes it's too warped or it's too rotten or something like that. That's when you really want to replace it. I can see here there's no light coming through. So I know your weather stripping's pretty solid. Down there too, this door bottom looks good. It's tight to the threshold. You got no significant air leakage. So this door is good. The fact that you have single pane glass here, yeah, double pane would be nicer, but it's not worth replacing the door just for that. This door is different. This door is steel, which means almost certainly it's insulated steel. And of course, here's a window. I can tell it's double glazed, which is good. So, but again, this door is no big difference from your other solid wood door in terms of its R value. I see you got a dog door here. This is actually quite a good one. It's strong enough that it won't blow open when the wind blows, so it's a pretty good air barrier. And this plastic is double lined, so there's a little bit of thermal resistance here. So that's a good dog door. You're happy with it?
Yes, we tried out another dog door that used magnets. It was more of a traditional shape, and it seemed also effective at keeping out the old air, but this one is a lot quieter. So I definitely think shopping around, some products we've tried we haven't been so happy with. But yeah, this one's great. As long as the dog doesn't sit in it trying to look at the view while keeping its butt warm.
Right, I bet that would make the room a bit cold. So now let's look at your windows. Do you know what kind of windows you have?
I think they're vinyl double hung, and I got the low E thinking that would be a good idea as far as the sun shining in here in the summertime.
Well, overall, low E is a good idea. Low E's this coating that they put on the inside of a double glazed window, and it reflects a lot of the heat from the sun back outside. It also helps keep the heat from inside your house from going out. So it is a very good thing. The only downside of low E is sometimes in the winter, a big window like this, you might want that winter sun coming in here and heating the space. So it's a bit of a trade-off. In the winter, it would be nice if it wasn't low E. In the summer, it's great that it's low E because it keeps out so much heat.
Mm-hmm.
Other solutions that tend to be more in the hotter parts of the country are solar screens. So just like your mosquito net that's on all the windows, you can replace that with something that looks identical, slightly darker, but actually reflects the solar heat. And in the wintertime, you could take that off, and then you're getting the solar gain. So in some ways, that's an advantage over low E. What's really important when you're thinking about windows, just like doors, is air sealing. That's the most important thing. If you had an older window that couldn't be air sealed, it was too loose, like those very old wooden windows, that's something you really is worth changing. So just like with a door, if you can weather strip it properly, I wouldn't replace it. Same with a window. If it's tight enough, there's not a lot of air leakage, I wouldn't bother. There's an interesting thing a lot of people don't realize. A lot of houses I've been in, they think the windows are very leaky because in the wintertime, they walk by the window and it feels drafty. But often it's not a draft. What it is the feeling of heat on your body being sucked out through the window. Gives us the illusion of a draft. It's kind of an interesting thing.